for a chance anymore, I'm taking it.
Someone like me, with my natural abilities, my talent, my charm, my athleticism, deserves to be the top diva. That's exactly what you're doing, Beyonce. You ungrateful bitch.
Hey, what's going on YouTube tonight? It's me, TJ, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Wrestling Nostalgia. Back at it again with yet another wrestling content video. Yes, I got my Naomi merch. You see her on the shirt, bitch.
You see the shirt, bitch. Log out.
Yes, I'm here to talk about Naomi, but I'm here to fantasy book on how I will book her in her current heel run that she's on right now. And right now, she's doing a fabulous job. So I hope they go on an upward trajectory and everything like that, and she thrives, and hopefully win the women's championship, for goodness sake, because this has been a long time. 2018, 17? I think 17. That's too long. Baby. We need that right now. Okay? Right now. I need that.
I need that. I want
that. But anyways, without further ado, this is how I will book Naomi as a heel. I will have her go over on Jade Cargill at WrestleMania. Yep, I know this is a hot take because Jade Cargill is the new up-and-coming star, and we want to build her up, but a loss to Naomi isn't going to freaking destroy her credibility because right now she really don't really have too much except Women's Tag Team Championships, which is still, a good accolade. But put a pin in that because everything will come full circle. So I would have Jade Cargill lose to Naomi at WrestleMania, and of course, through cheap heel tactics or whatever, I don't know, thumb to the eye, or the referee ain't looking, and then she wind up, choking, getting her on the ropes or something like that along them lines. She is a heel, so I would have her go over. Then I would have her form a faction with Lash Legend and Jakar after WrestleMania, or she could have them interfere in the match at WrestleMania and help her win that way. We could do that, and then do the whole referee bump thing or whatever. Either one is good with me. But at SmackDown after Mania, I would have Naomi come out and basically, talk her ish, I told you that maybe at the other place that you were at, you were a big deal. But I told you at WrestleMania, I was going to show you who really is that bitch around here. And then this is when Jade comes out after, Naomi talks to ish, and then she, gets her hands on Naomi, and then this is when Lash and Jakar just go ahead and beats up on her and lays her out. Maybe, write her off TV for a little bit and things of that nature. Then I would have Lash and Jakar, whoever is the Women's Tag Team Champions, will go up against them. And then Lash and Jakar, of course, win the Women's Tag Team Championships. And I would have them have like a lengthy reign as well with a lot of, contenders. Just throw whoever at them. I don't even care if they are a real tag team. Make them a big thing, okay? So after King and the Queen of the Ring, I would have all of them, lose their qualifying matches. Not because I want to, but I already know how WWE is, SmackDown. I already know they're going to have, them in the Queen of the Ring tournaments and stuff like that. So I wouldn't have them lose like right off the bat, but I would have like at least one of them not, advance, and then the other two on the opposite ends lose their matches respectfully, and whoever is going to be the Queen of the Ring, beware and proceed with caution. Put a pin in that. So I would have Charlotte Flair win the Queen of the Ring. Then the next event would be the Money in the Bank, and yes, I would have Naomi versus B-Fab for a qualifying match for that spot. Of course, Naomi's going to win that. And then I would have Naomi, of course, win the Money in the Bank. In this Ultimate Reality, I would have Tiffany Stratton still be women's champion, and she could tease both of them and be all like, proceed with caution when you're out there tonight. Keep your head on a swivel. something like that. And then, Lash and Jakar laughing like, or whatever. And of course, Lash and Jakar would help her win the Miss Money in the Bank. And then she could, put the Proceed with Caution tape. I would say glow it up, but only thing I think she would do as far as glow wise is probably like have yellow glowy and stuff, not green, like how it would look. I ain't gonna lie, I did see like a picture online of how it would look if she were to glow up her Miss Money in the Bank, and it's just sad that's a big missed opportunity. We're not gonna see that because I feel like it was gonna look just like that, but hey, I guess we just ain't never gonna see that. But I would have her win Miss Money in the Bank. I would have her, tease here and there, oh yeah, remember Tiffany, you're the reason why I didn't win the women's championship in the first place? Wouldn't it be a shame if it all come crashing down? And it would be ironic if I was the one to take that title from you, like how you did to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, put a pin in that. So I would have a WrestleMania rematch between Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. So I would have Charlotte Flair go over, or we could do, a non-finish. We could have Naomi come out and yes, she cashes in and successfully against Tiffany Stratton or Charlotte Flair. Or they, like I said before, we could just throw the whole match away and then just have her beat up everybody and then make it a triple threat match. And then Naomi says, I'm cashing this in now. So then this is when Naomi cashes in her Money in the Bank. She hits whatever finisher move. I don't know if she's going to come up with another one, a new one or something like that. Or maybe she'll do the split leg and moonsault. It would look a little weird only because, she's a heel. But I mean, heels do top rope moves too. So whatever. So I would have her cash it in. And then 1, 2, 3. Your new women's champion, Naomi. And Lash and Jakar in the ring celebrating with her, just, putting her up in the air and woo, 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 everybody's happy and everything like that. Crazy thing about it is, they're going to be ain't they going to be in Jersey this year? I don't know why. I feel like she would get a good reaction from that, though. Like, they wouldn't boo. I don't know why. I feel like, being as though people don't really care for Charlotte anyway, I feel like she should win it. I feel like the only reason why they won't have her go over if they do a rematch is because of the fact that if Charlotte gets cashed in on, automatically people are going to cheer Naomi because of that. But anyways, we're going to fast forward into the Royal Rumble because honestly, I don't know how the lay of the land is going to look for Survivor Series. They're not going to do the traditional 5 versus 5, SmackDown versus Raw, whatever. Have Naomi versus Bianca Belair, champion versus champion. I would love that, but in my reality, if I were booking it, I would make that a thing. Because honestly, I'm tired of the whole War Games match. It does nothing for me. It takes too long for it to actually kick off. And it bores me to death. I do not like the War Games. So I'm bypass that and go into the Royal Rumble. I don't know why. I just have a niche. I have a hunch that for some reason next year at the Royal Rumble, definitely because I do feel like a good feeling that Jade Cargill is going to be in it. She's going to win it. So in my fantasy booking, I would have Jade Cargill win the Royal Rumble. And then she has a choice between Bianca Belair, the women's world champion, or the women's champion, Naomi. Y'all already know who she's going to pick. She has beef with Naomi. Like, she needs to, get her win back. So I would have Jade Cargill and Naomi. Probably this time around, it will be a way better build, being as though that it started right at the beginning of the year. They could go ahead and, tease it and everything like that throughout the duration of Naomi's, women's championship reign. She could just go ahead and be like, oh, yeah, too bad you never won one of these. And she could, pop her ish, and they could fight in the back and everything like that. Maybe have some tag team matches and things of that nature. It'd tell a story where, Jade Cargill never beat Naomi. This is like the second or third time, yada, yada, yada. And she could just go ahead and just be like in her own head, like, what am I doing? Like, oh my gosh, like I was on the winning streak. Now, like, this girl is really like tugging at my wig, like literally. And finally she wins the Royal Rumble and then probably have 10 weeks of hell, like go through set and then just have Naomi just go ahead and after Jade Cargill, of course, officially picks Naomi, she could just go ahead and beat her up, beat her down and everything like that throughout the duration. They can go cut promos against each other. I feel like at this point in time next year, Jade Cargill will probably be a way better athlete I'm pretty sure she's going to go crazy this year, WrestleMania, against Naomi. But next year at WrestleMania, this time it will be for the Women's Championship. Yes, I would have Jade Cargill go over on Naomi this time. No shenanigans, no hiccups, no interference at all. Yeah, that's the year that I would book for Naomi if it was me. And then probably after that, just to give like a little bit more information, probably have Naomi get transferred to Raw with Lash and Jakara, and then have maybe Naomi and Bianca Belair feud down the line in 2026. But yeah, that's it. That is the year that I will book for Naomi. How do you feel about how I fantasy book Naomi's heel run? Do you feel like I did a good job? Do you feel like that would sound like about right? Might makes right? Or do you feel like, man, forget Naomi. Rip that caution tape off her and kick her out of WWE. Like, share, and subscribe. Help me grow this channel. Your love and support is definitely greatly appreciated. And welcome. Peace. TJ, I'm out.
Here we go.